Even though fall is my favorite season and the cozy vibes then are also immaculate, there's just something that hits different about wintertime when it comes to a good cozy gaming session. Just curling up by the fire with a cup of hot cocoa. Perfection. Just thinking about it gives me the warm and fuzzies, and in the last couple of months we've definitely been blessed with some really good cozy game releases on the Switch. It's been keeping me busy, as well as some games I'm also enjoying on the Steam Deck. By the way, hey, I'm Kat. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. Can you believe it's already the last month of 2023? I have missed you guys so much, and while I haven't uploaded as much as I used to and as much as I'd liked this year, I really hope you've been enjoying my recent videos. I have tons more planned this month, especially nearing the holidays, so if you haven't already, feel free to stick around and subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Oh, just a quick side note, I'm super excited and thankful to share that I got to do a really fun interview on the official YouTube blog about cozy games, along with none other than my favorite cozy queens and proud to call my cozy friends, Kennedy aka Cozy K here on YouTube, and Iona. So if you want to check that out, I will have that link down below. Now, let's talk about the coziest games that I've been playing and loving lately. Nintendo DS babies, please say hello to the modern day style savvy that we've always dreamed of. I've been waiting for a game like this to come on the Switch pretty much since the Switch came out. Games like Style Savvy, and eventually there were also tons of other dress-up, fashion type games on the DS, were a big part of my childhood and some of my go-to games on that handheld for sure. You may know if you've watched my other videos before that I love character customization, and this is like a never-ending character customization galore. The possibilities are endless. You play as a fashion influencer, and I especially love that you can go online to dress up everyone else playing Fashion Dreamer with you. It feels like you're really part of a community, and they can dress you up as well. You can change your hair, your makeup, your features, and I love that you also get to design your own brand and create a showroom for it where you can display your pieces and really show off your individual style. They've already confirmed free content updates coming very soon on December 5th, which is winter themed, as well as in January and February. They'll also start holding fairs when you play online, which lets you shop for new patterns for your brand, hairstyles, and more. I think if they consistently keep up with these free content updates, the replayability of Fashion Dreamer is huge. I also really appreciate that it's a cozy game that doesn't demand a lot of your time, because sometimes as an adult we may not have as much time as we'd like to actually play video games, and sometimes you only have a couple of minutes to do one makeover, or you can spend a whole entire evening just styling people from across the globe. This game just makes me so happy. That's all. Now, Mineko's Night Market, I have waited for this game for a while. I think it came up on a Nintendo Indie World Showcase a couple years ago. It caught my eye, of course, for the coziness, but also because it was made by a small Canadian studio. I immediately loved the art style. It's very storybook-like, whimsical, and of course it shows off the beautiful Japanese culture. It's got a lighthearted story about friendship, traditions, and if you know a little Japanese, you may know that Neko means cat, so there are lots of cats in this game as well. Mineko is described as a curious girl, and she just moved to a new home in a little Japanese island where they worship a sun cat named Nico. Nico was just a myth around the town, but suddenly there were sightings of him everywhere, so Mineko gets to unravel the mysteries of this island and help restore this struggling village to its former glory. I haven't even told you yet about the night market part, which is my favorite part in this game. You get to complete different tasks and jobs around town, go on quests, and craft items to prepare for the weekly night market. It's just a lot of joy to play, and getting to know the character Mineko as well as all the people around this gorgeous Japanese village makes this one of my top cozy games of the entire year. Fae Farm, shocker, I know. I've talked about this game at least a few times on this channel before, and even though there are some talks that this game might be a little pricey for what it is, and I respect that, absolutely, to each their own. I personally feel like I've gotten a lot of value from it, and when you buy it on the Switch, it also comes with 2 DLCs for the price that you're paying. So I would 100% buy it again on day one if I could. Is it a bit on the simpler side? Maybe, but a lot of these cozy games are geared toward that lower difficulty level because it is more relaxing and laid back and free. Now, is the dialogue with the townspeople a bit repetitive and not as alive feeling as other farming games? To an extent, yes. That might depend on how you like to play these types of games. Maybe it doesn't bother me too much because even in other farming sims that has an emphasis on relationship building and romance and dating, I am embarrassed to admit that I actually forget to talk to the townspeople sometimes, and I can't even remember their favorite gifts. Sorry about that. If you're into all of those things, then maybe you might miss that in this game. But if you love more of the customization side, being able to build furniture, decor, craft your tools, weapons, cook, decorate your house, your farm, customize your character, and so on. I could easily lose hours just doing all of that, and so far with this game, I have. I've been really happy with the creative freedom that Fae Farm has given me, plus the endless farming, fishing, bug catching, which is what I also loved in games like Animal Crossing and Story of Seasons, for example. Fae Farm does have a couple DLCs on the way, like I mentioned, which will add more content. The first one is already coming on December 14th, so hopefully we'll see. Maybe it'll get better for others then. It also has great multiplayer. I had a super fun time playing it with my friends over at Josh Gaming Garden channel on release. It's a super cute farming sim in my opinion, and it's also got fae and magic themes, which I also adore, so I can't ask for anything more. Now, this next game I haven't actually heard much about from others, but I've been really enjoying it. Silent Hope, also known as Frederica in Asia, is like a light dungeon crawler with fantasy life sim elements. You get to play 7 different heroes, all specializing in unique fighting styles: a wanderer, warrior, rogue, archer, farmer, fighter, and caster. And would it surprise you to know that the farmer is one of my favorites to play in this game? She is so cute and she fights with her fancy little pitchfork. I love it. Basically, these heroes hear a princess's call to find the king who stole everyone's voice in the kingdom and jumped into the depths of the abyss. You get a base camp where you return to after every excursion, and while you're there, each of the heroes has their own jobs as well, from alchemist to blacksmith to cook and more. Everyone's role is very essential to be able to equip yourself the best way possible for whenever you go back into the abyss. And slowly, as you go deeper and deeper into the dungeons, you also get to go deeper into the story and find out why the king did that to his people. And even though there is a lot of battling in this game, I don't find it too difficult where it takes away from being cozy. I think exploring the abyss that changes every time you go down there encourages you to discover new corners every time, new items to forage, along with base camp duties that just feel super rewarding and relaxing. Super Mario RPG is a classic. Whether you're playing it for the first time like I am or revisiting back, this takes us on a whimsical quest with Mario and friends to repair Star Road and taking down the Smithy gang. Actually, you don't just get to pair up with Mario's usual buddies, because this time you can have Bowser on your side too, which is very exciting, as well as this mysterious doll called Gino. It's a wholesome Mario adventure in turn-based RPG style. I haven't finished this game yet, but I'm loving every minute of it. I love exploring the different worlds and the story, and besides cozy farming sims, I really enjoy cozying up to RPGs as well. So seeing these beloved Nintendo characters coupled with this genre is super enjoyable for me. They've also added a new breezy difficulty mode, which I love to see, because if you've never played an RPG game before, and maybe you're coming from classic 2D Mario, but want to try this game out, it's not very intimidating at all. The battles are much easier and you can level up faster. I think it would be a cute first RPG for the young ones as well. There's not much else to say about it. It's Mario, but RPG, and it's cozy for the exploration and the gameplay and the nostalgia that you get whenever you're adventuring with these characters. I'd love to maybe see more Mario RPG games in the next Switch iteration since they reintroduced this one. Coral Island, I got to play this when it first came out for early access, and I really enjoyed the game then, but being that it was early access, it just felt a little incomplete in some areas, and because of all the many cozy game releases that came after, I just didn't find myself reaching for this game as much as the others until the recent official release. Coral Island just does an amazing job at bringing together all my favorite parts from all my favorite farming sims. This is a game that you can just tell the creators are true farming sim fans themselves. So there are a lot of things about Coral Island that feels familiar in a way if you've played a lot of the OGs like Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons, and of course Stardew Valley. I love the tropical world, which was inspired by Indonesia and Indonesian culture, where the devs are based from, and the colorful and diverse characters are just brimming full of personality. There are over 70 characters. Yes, you heard that right. 25 of which you can romance. Like other farming games, you take over a farmland and take care of your crops, care for animals, craft, cook, fish, mine, and so on. You guys know this part. And there's a company from the big city that just bought land on Coral Island. They want to make this place a tourist hub, but the locals are against that because it will destroy the natural beauty of this place. And in fact, a huge mechanic of this game that's different from every other farming sim I've played before is the diving. Underwater, you help clear the garbage and debris that unfortunately were washed over from the big cities that are polluting our beautiful ocean and harming marine life. It plays beautifully on the Steam Deck, and it's my preferred way to play this game. If you also stepped away from Coral Island after trying it on early access, maybe this is a good time to revisit it again. Cuisineer, oh my goodness, what a gem of a game, and another one that I don't hear much about like Silent Hope, which is a bit of a shame because I think many of you will like this game, but maybe you'll check it out after this video. They're actually both published by Xseed, which also happen to publish Fashion Dreamer, and you may know them more from their main line of games, Story of Seasons and Rune Factory. I'm a full-on fangirl of Xseed, if it isn't obvious by now. I think the games that they choose to publish are just right up our cozy little alleys. They're probably fully responsible for my love of cozy games since the Game Boy Advance days, and yeah, they're killing it with these back-to-back publishings lately. Cuisineer is about this adorable character named Palm, and she reluctantly takes over her family's restaurant out of her own will. After she comes home one day, her parents just drops a huge bomb on her by just leaving her a letter saying they've left for a retirement trip. They want to travel the world and experience new things, and poor Palm is left with this empty restaurant with not even a frying pan in sight. The little town is also cute and cozy where your restaurant is, and it's filled with equally adorable townspeople. But there's also the exploration side of the game where you get to go into dungeons with different biomes like forests, volcanoes, icy caverns, swamps that change every time you go. And that's where you can collect the different ingredients to use for your restaurant. Your powers to battle the monsters come from flavors salty, sour, sweet, bitter, umami, frosty, and toasty. How adorable is that? And when you return, it's suddenly a restaurant management sim. Do you guys remember Diner Dash? It's like that, but 10 times better. You can decorate your restaurant how you like and cook up over 100 different recipes from the ingredients you take home. You also have to do some requests from the townspeople, which rewards you with gold, new items, and even more recipes. I really love this game, and I hope that it reaches the Nintendo Switch eventually, but for now I'm happily playing it on my PC or Steam Deck. Lake, the super relaxing mail delivery and slice of life sim, just got a DLC for the holidays in Lake Season's Greetings. If you don't know about about the main game yet. This takes place in 1986, and Meredith, our character in her 40s, returns to her little quiet hometown to take a break from her big city job at a software company. She helps take over the local mail carrier service from her dad, and during the 2 weeks of doing this, she runs into old friends and acquaintances and makes new ones. You get to decide who you'd like to talk to and befriend and even start a romance with. In the end, you have to decide if you want Meredith to stay here or return to her life in the city. This game lets you experience the joys of a simpler time with no distractions and just being around beautiful nature without cell phones or the internet. And in the DLC, Lake Season's Greetings, it's actually a prequel taking place a year before the base game. This time you're playing as Meredith's dad, Thomas, so it's very heartwarming and wholesome. This town looks extra atmospheric to this time of year, of course. You know, the snow-covered streets, Christmas lights, holiday activities. If you loved the base game, then getting this for the holidays this year is a no-brainer. You get to revisit Providence Oaks and meet familiar faces as well as new ones. Right now I'm playing it on Steam, but it is also available on Xbox and PlayStation. And that, my friends, are all the games that I've been cozying up to these days. Are you playing any of the games that I mentioned, or can you recommend any other ones that are perfect for this time of year? Let me know down below, and if you made it to the end, I appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you next time.